Morning folks. Alright, so it's Thursday and 19th of September, and we're going to take a look at quite a few things today, so I'm going to jump straight in. Now the trading disclaimer applies. You can find it in the description below. Make sure you read that before you proceed any further. Also check out the previous signals that we've been producing on Forex over the last few weeks. We're up to over 25% for this quarter, which for this year so far 2019 is over 80% return. So go and check those results out and find out more about the channel on the website. Alright, so for the DAX, you can pretty clearly see at the moment, since kind of towards the end of August, we've been in this series of higher highs and higher lows. We are right now in an unusual period of consolidation. It's moving sideways because in actual fact this low here, and maybe we'll take a look at it on a different chart, just zoom in on it a little bit more, or even just get back in, but just zoom in on these. You can see that this low here was actually pierced over here, which we can't quite see because the drawing is on the right hand side. Let's just maybe make the label on the left instead, and then maybe we will be able to see it. There you go. So price has already pierced that level, so this series of higher highs, higher lows has officially ended. So we're moving sideways. We're in a neutral market. We're range bound, so you can probably pull something simple like a regression channel and maybe just take it from this previous low over to the end of these levels, or whichever it is that you want to do. Perhaps even this broken low over here, and then watch to see which side of this regression channel price action is going to break. At the moment I have no action center and reaction targets to aim for. We're just simply going to be in a range bound market. Looking at the volume on the right hand side, you can see this high volume area over here. This is where price is currently holding. There is a low volume section down here. If we are breaking into that area, then you'd imagine that price is going to test this high volume node around about 12,225, and also this composite high volume area, or the value area high should I say, down at around about 12,130. So they're the levels I'm going to be watching for the DAX, but right now there's not that much excitement going on. If I was to pick a direction as to which way it's going to go, I would be guessing. So there's no point in doing that, but I would want to see price move to higher levels, and that's what I'd probably be looking to expect. The reason for that would just simply be that the monetary policy is very soft right now. The Fed have already cut rates as well as expected, so that's the ECB cutting rates, the Fed have cut rates. That produces the right kind of environment for a bullish equity market. So that's really all I'm basing that on. But for now we'll just continue to play the strategy, and that's what I'm going to move over to next. So let's take a look through very quickly all of the levels. I don't think these levels have actually updated just yet, because I'm actually pre-recording this video the night before, and the market hasn't opened yet, so I haven't got new levels. So I may just think on my feet and just move over to a different way of looking at things, and we'll just take a look at the strategy for not just the DAX but also Dow, Footsie and the Euro stocks, and we'll try and make this a bit more of a regular feature as well. Alright, so what kind of situations do we have on the DAX? Let's just unlock the chart here. There we go. Let's just move that over. So the day started off in a bearish phase, as you can see from this overlay here. We had a sell signal that could have been valid right at the beginning of the day, which would not have worked out at all. Price bounced off the deviation low down here, straight through VWAP, all the way up to the deviation high up here, and then you can see that there was a buy signal here which would have been ignored for the simple fact that price had expanded already outside of the deviation high. So that would have suggested that price is not quite ready to go. And you use your own judgment when you see yellow here. So for example down here I also chose to ignore that opportunity because price didn't really reject the deviation high that much. It didn't come back towards VWAP, which I would have expected, and from here there was nothing for me to trade, and by that point I was pretty bored of how price action was moving. Wasn't particularly interesting. Had another buy signal up here which I ignored. We did get back to VWAP, but I would have missed these buy signals here just for the simple fact that price action isn't doing anything, and I was bored of the market. And same went for the rest of these signals here. You can see there was a series of buy signals which I ignored. We flipped into sell mode. There was a bunch of sell signals here which I also ignored, and unfortunately the price action just does not support any kind of momentum right now, so this strategy would have struggled. So that was the DAX. Let's just take a look and see how the Dow would have fared under similar conditions, and I'll just widen that up. You can see here that it started bullish. There was a sell signal there. We could have ignored that, and multiple different kind of buy signals. You could have scalped a few points off of a few of those signals, no problems, but ultimately not really a huge amount of price action momentum, and would have been caught out on the wrong side of a couple of different trades here. In the afternoon session was potentially a nice signal here to short, get to the downside from around about 3:30 at 27.70, somewhere in that zone, as a rejection from VWAP, which is often a nice type of trade to take, where you see price get below the deviation low, react, bounces back up to VWAP, and then when it turns from here, that can often be a nice high probability trading setup. So just to repeat, that's prices collapse through the deviation low, which is the bottom band here. It recovers, bounces back up to the VWAP, which is volume weighted average price, and then from there it turns bearish, and it's a VWAP slap, or a slap back down again. And as you can see here, this kind of price action is all just based on the Fed rate cut. It came around FOMC, there was a reaction initially, and then this yeah, you can just see this wave of buying pressure, and you would imagine that's probably going to continue, given the fact that Donald Trump is an expert manipulator, and so he has put pressure on the Fed to cut rates. Alright, Footsie, just keeping this one pretty quick really, but the early part of the day for this strategy would have been in the yellow. We were outside the deviation high, so could have got aggressive and perhaps been looking to buy there, but the setup that we would have looked for would be for price to react back down to VWAP, which it did, and then when it bounces and turns bullish again, that's an opportunity to buy. So that could have been a nice little short-term trading opportunity right there. This would have been ignored for the simple fact that you had some yellow price action over here, and any one of these could well have been valid, but in this case didn't work out. Price action moves sideways, isn't really going anywhere, isn't really reacting or moving to any direction, finding any momentum. That would have been a valid sell signal, wouldn't have worked out. Another couple of valid sell signals that look to have done relatively well towards the end of the afternoon, and then as you get past 4 o'clock, not really interested in doing anything else, and FOMC provides a bit of a reaction also. Euro stocks, not a huge amount to really trade. This is probably not the best strategy for Euro stocks because it doesn't really move. Euro stocks is a much slower European index, should I say, and it doesn't really catch any momentum, so this is probably the wrong type of strategy. But if you want to get a sense check on how price action is moving, you know, there is an opportunity to keep an eye on the Euro stocks as well. Right guys, so really just as a summary, I mean, my thinking at the moment is that DAX is moving sideways, and we've broken this bullish trend of consecutive higher highs and higher lows. We do have conditions for a bullish market, given that we've just had an ECB rate cut and now the Fed have also cut rates. So whilst we're trapped inside this range at the moment, I would expect to see a break one way or the other, and I would like to see a break higher. We do have plenty of resistance to watch out for, specifically this zone here, which spans all the way back to end of July, and beyond that you've also got the beginning of July, end of June section up here as well. So there is a lot of resistance to catch price action here as we attempt to move higher out of this zone. So Keep your wits about you. Don't jump too eagerly into a trade thinking this is going to be the break, because more often than not it's going to catch you out as it fails to find any momentum. We've seen it plenty of time on the DAX. It does it very often, and and that is ultimately how the market makers are making their money, because they are pulling you into a false sense of security. Don't fall into that trap. Alright guys, that is my thinking for the moment. I hope that was useful. Come and check it out. Come and check out the website, should I say. Get over to thedaxtrader.co.uk. Come and send me a message on Telegram or Twitter or anything like that. If you're interested in getting signals for either Forex or DAX, you can find all that information out on the website. If you want to learn more information about these tools and how to get some advanced technical analysis under your belt, then get yourself over to the Trader Development membership, sign yourself up to that, and I'll provide you access to the materials behind the scenes. If of course you're after some one-to-one coaching or information specifically about a technique, or you want some help with Sierra charts, get your platform working like this one, get the strategy installed properly, and you just need a bit of time with me in order to run through that, then just get in touch and I'll talk you through that. But alternatively, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll catch up with you soon. Have a good trading day. Take care.